So it's Friday, we made it through another week. Today, I wanted to have some fun, taking a look at an upcoming release from Jordan Brand, which I feel like not only will be a big hit, but as far as this collab, I feel like these could be the next premier collaborators to really bring something new and refreshing to Jordan Brand, which of course we know all year, they've been celebrating their 40th anniversary, dropping so many dope pairs, the return of so many classic OGs. But if I could be critical for just a minute, let's be real. Jordan Brand, they've been getting away with the same formula for decades now, re-releasing retros of models 1 through 14, which don't get me wrong, those are all timeless classics, but Jordan Brand, they also got some other dope shoes in the vault. Believe it or not, even after MJ retired, they did drop some heat. Now, last year, we did see Jordan Brand bring back the 17 low in some limited capacities. This year, they're cooking up some dope 17 low colorways in collaboration with Infinite Archives, a brand which states their mission is to emphasize the importance of history in relation to the present. As we move forward towards the future, we must remember the past. So those 17s are looking to be real dope. I want to take a little deeper dive into those releases and take a look at some Jordans which did drop after the 14, talk about which pairs I would like to see potentially maybe retro as we take a little walk down memory lane. Now, what we know is so far as Infinite Archive Jordan 17s is that currently they do have 2 releases scheduled on the Jordan Brand calendar, but so far we've actually seen 3 different samples arrive. So it's just a matter of which pairs will actually officially see a retail release. Who knows? Maybe a pair will turn up as like a friends and family or something like that. But as far as the 3 different colors that we've seen so far, you do have this blue pair in a 17 low, which I'm guessing must be derived from that original Jordan 17 high, which we saw dropping that Washington Wizards blue colorway. The other pair, which is this red version, appeared back in the day in this Jordan Brand sample ad. It was seen featured by Michael Finley, a Jordan Brand ambassador at the time. And then lastly, you got this purple pair, which of course is based off of the Mike Bibby Jordan 17 low Sacramento Kings PE. So as far as all of these right here, I'm rocking with all of them. You can sign me up for every single one of these right here. But if I could just pick one, while the blue is beautiful, the red is a Jordan Brand staple, I would just say that purple is taking things into a different lane, and that's the pair which I would like to see drop the most out of all 3 of these. But like I mentioned, all of these are dope, and what we've seen from Infinite Archives as far as their colors, they're not just like taking some random colors and throwing it on a Jordan model. All of these pairs have some type of like cultural significance, you know, with the backstory and the history of Jordan Brand and everything like that. So when it comes to 17s, we've already seen that last year there's definitely an interest in this model. Although they were dropped in a limited capacity, we did see the Lightnings drop, as well as those All-Star 17s, and I think they only dropped in store, but people still came out for those, and there was definitely still a big interest. And I just think it's due to the fact that we've just seen models 1 through 14 for the last 20 years or so, and it's time for Jordan Brand to bring a little something new and refreshing. A lot of people have nostalgia for these pairs. Let's say if you're over like the age of 30, you may have been fond of these sneakers as a kid growing up, and now that you're an adult, it would be dope to see Jordan Brand bring them back. I mean, at least that's my story, so I know a lot of y'all can definitely relate. Now, we know when this comes to the 17s, they did come with that briefcase, had the stupid long commercial with MJ. So they did bring back the briefcase. Retail on these was like, what, $300 last year? So for me, I could really care less about the briefcase, but I guess it's cool for collectors and everything like that. So outside of the 17s, which this is going to be one of my more highly anticipated collabs from Jordan Brand, let's also take a look back deeper into Jordan Brand's catalog, specifically models that were produced after the Jordan 14. So first up, we got the 15, which did drop after MJ's retirement. Now, I remember when these 15s dropped, like I was a crazy MJ fan. It kind of felt like there was going to be a void now in the league after he retired. And this is the first model that Jordan Brand came with. I was thinking they had to come with something crazy after the 14, especially now that Michael Jordan's retired. And I could definitely remember as a kid being super disappointed in these 15s, but I feel like maybe I didn't really get it, or maybe this design was kind of ahead of its time, because honestly, I know a lot of people think the 15s are like one of the most ugly Jordans. They call them boats or whatever, but the shape is just so crazy. It's so like creative that I just kind of feel like the 15s have almost kind of like aged like a fine wine. Like I really like the 15s now. I feel like they're more of like a kind of mid-cut. They look dope with like a pair of shorts. And overall, I would just love to see the 15s return. Specifically, definitely rocking with this OG stealth colorway right here. These are definitely dope, and it would be cool to see these return. I know throughout the years we have seen Jordan Brand bring back the 15s in some form or another, but it would be cool to see a formal retro, say maybe like in 2026 or something like that. So definitely rocking with the 15s. We're starting off real good, which brings us to the Jordan 16, which I want to say this is the first Jordan model which we saw him rocking when he returned to the Washington Wizards, which of course we all know didn't compare to MJ's Chicago days, but it was still dope regardless, like to see him come back with the Wizards. And as far as the 16s, although they did have that big removable aspect to them, the big little strap or whatever you want to call them, once you take that off, I feel like the 16s were like a real true to form when it comes to mainline Jordans. The shape was nice, as well as that inclusion of the patent leather on the toe. I just remember when these dropped thinking that they were really cool. And as far as a retro to come back, I feel like it would be a no-brainer for Jordan Brand. 16s were dope, and then we move into the 17s, which we already touched on. But that brings us here to the 18s, which I do believe were the last Jordan that we saw MJ rocking before he retired with the Wizards, which is why you got the black and blue color. I remember these were definitely dope when they dropped. I remember people were still checking for Jordan releases heavily, even with the 18. So I think these are a timeless classic. I would say they were cool with the infusion of this element with the sole, had some cool colorways. So I would like to see these return. I feel like probably out of all the 18s, this black and blue would have probably been my favorite. So 18s were dope, which brings us here into the 19s. Again, this is going to be the Jordans that dropped after MJ retired from the Wizards. As far as the 19s, I don't know if I just like lost interest or what, but just I don't remember being a fan of these. And looking back at them now, I'm still not really a fan of them, even though the bread colorway was nice on these. I just really never really rocked with the 19s like that. So that brings us here to the Jordan 20, which I definitely remember when these dropped right here. At the time, I would say this was probably like the most futuristic Jordan that we saw released. You had the strap, as well as the big like ankle collar strap or whatever you want to call it. So these joints were kind of wild at the time, but I still appreciated them. They had a really dope bread colorway that had dropped. And now even looking back at them, we've seen the 20 come back in some capacity. I think they dropped them with those Jordan packs at one point. And we also saw them bring it back for that special Dornbecker release last year. But to me, the 20s, I feel like go crazy, whether you want to go with the first Chicago colorway or with them breads. I feel like the 20s are dope and something I would like to rock right now. So Jordan Brand, you need to hurry up and bring back these 20s in some type of capacity. Like, you know, you could kick them off in a slow way, but this is a model that I feel like would be super cool to see retro, which brings us to the 21. Again, a model which at the time it was cool. I think people were still checking for Jordan models like that, but at the time I wasn't in love with them. But now looking back on them, I definitely have a bigger appreciation for the Jordan 20. I remember them red joints with the suede on them dropping definitely back in the day. But as far as this first like kind of Chicago colorway with the leather finish, I think those will probably be the dopest out of the 21s. And I would have to say all these years afterwards, I have found an appreciation for the Jordan 21. I definitely remember actually getting a little pair of these back in the day, and they came with a cool box as you guys see right here. So 21s are dope, which then brings us to the 22, which yeah, they kind of lost me again here with the 22. Again, coming off the 21, a model which I kind of rock with. I just have really nothing good to say about these. They look clunky. They did try to infuse an interesting kind of print, almost like a homage to the cement print on the back here. But yeah, man, these were just clunky, bruh. But I guess you could say a sign of a lot of the basketball designs that we saw dropping at that time. And then that brings us to the 23 again, a model which I would say is better than the 22, but nah, I ain't really rocking with these. So when we take a look back at Jordan models after 14, I'm already loving the 17s. You guys already know that. 15s, would love to see those come back. 16s, those get thumbs up for me. 18s, those get 2 thumbs up for me. The 19s, I'm not a huge fan, but if you guys like them, I love them. The 20s though, that's probably the ones that I would like to see come back the most out of everything that we've covered today. I'm rocking with the 21s. Those are cool, but when it comes to these 22s, they could keep them. The 23s, I know there will be some fans, but Nah, I'm cool on all those. So basically the whole point of this video was just to kind of take a little walk down memory lane. Let me know if you guys have ever owned any of these Jordans back in your day. And as far as these releases, I just think it would be fun and refreshing for Jordan Brand to kind of tap into that back catalog. We're already seeing them doing with the 17, and when you talk about models 15 through 23, there definitely are some gems that I would like to see return. So as I mentioned, let me know which pairs you used to have back in the day and which models you would like to see Jordan Brand return. So of course, it's Friday. I want to wish everybody watching, hope y'all have a great weekend. If you enjoyed today's video, you can help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up. Plus, if you made it all the way through the end, let me know by dropping a salute, guys. So I'll catch y'all next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. JA, I'm out. Love.